that looked like a very exciting event. Are you ready for this weekend, Jack?
I don't know if I'm ready. I'm excited. We've kind of done a bit of preparation. We've got a sign sorted out. We've got our fancy dress costume done.
Of course.
We've met the fundraising target. So I am ready. I'm just excited and a bit nervous, but yeah.
Can you tell us what your fancy dress costume is?
Well, we didn't want to be too over the top because we just thought we're going to be in it for a long period of time. So what we've done is we've got a second skin, which is black and white stripes, and we're just going to put it under like the jailbreak t-shirt.
Yeah.
So it is fancy dress. It's for the occasion, but not over the top.
That's good.
Yeah.
So we are now joined by Katie Capstick, Lucy VP Campaigns and Communication, and Olivia Marshall, President of Enactus. Welcome, Katie and Olivia.
Well, we'll talk more about the news first. Yeah.
So, Katie, could you tell us a bit about the She Should Run campaign? So what is it about?
Sure. Okay, so the She Should Run campaign is actually a national campaign that many people at universities take on and run themselves in more of a local situation. So this year it's being run by Women's Liberation Forum and the CCO Women's Officer, Laura Brown. So basically, She Should Run is a campaign that aims to champion women's leadership and encourage more women to get involved in like political positions. It also aims to kind of like for a gender balance in so like JCR positions this year we've had 7 out of 9 I think that were women as presidents, which is really good because it kind of in the past there's been a lot of men dominating these sort of political positions, so it's good to have a gender balance, and it's good to kind of have women's issues brought to the table. So that's basically what it's about. And the Women's Liberation Forum will be running a workshop for self-defining women on Monday at 7 p.m. to kind of discuss with students what they think the campaign should be like, what sort of things they can do with it.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you now about Jeremy Corbyn that came on Friday. You met him, didn't you?
Yes.
A good experience?
Yeah, I was actually really nervous before because it's Jeremy Corbyn, he's the leader of the Labour Party.
Yeah.
So I was stood there and I was like, oh, I'm really, really nervous. And then as soon as he arrived, I felt very comfortable. He was very approachable and he met each officer individually and I instantly felt relaxed. So, and then we went into a seminar room and Kat Smith was also there, our local MP. She's a graduate of the university and she was also the women's officer when the women's officer was a full-time position at LUSU. So it was good to have her come along as well, and he seemed very genuinely concerned about students' issues. He was really engaged with each officer. There was officers, not just the full-time officers, there was sort of CCOs, JCR officers, so it was really nice for him to come and meet us, and we spoke about cost of living, mental health, and we also informed that their green paper had just been released, so he started to ask us about that. So yeah, it was really nice that he came to speak to us, and he also posted a little video on his Facebook page that you can watch, and he spoke about how he enjoyed coming to Lancaster University, so it was really nice to meet him.
Yeah.
Did you spend much time with him? Because
yeah, unfortunately, we could only speak to him for about 40 minutes, so there was more things that we wanted to speak to him about, because obviously he's a very busy man. So yeah, it was only a short chat, but I just feel so lucky to have been able to have met him. So hopefully later on in the year we'll be able to meet him again and speak about other issues that affect students. And we've met Kat Smith before, so hopefully we can have another meeting with her to kind of talk about issues that we didn't get to speak about. So yeah, it was a really good experience.
Yeah, so that's definitely reassuring to know that he's supporting us as students.
Yeah.
And it's also worth mentioning a little bit about Speak Week, which is this week. Could you tell us a bit about that?
Sure, yeah, so Speak Week is basically a week where the full-time officers want students to come to us and say what you want, what sort of campaigns you want running, what issues you have. So it's kind of, we don't want to be sat in the office waiting for students to come to us. We want to go to students and be like, what do you think should be going on in the union? So, I mean, we've been a bit restricted because obviously the weather's been awful this week. We wanted to have sort of a stall in Alex Square, but obviously it's just been raining. So we're going to try and use social media to sort of encourage conversation with students. So I've also launched a officer awareness campaign this week. It's basically on all the screens around campus. There's going to be sort of just pictures of us, like people actually knowing who we are, and it'll go onto a headline page. So each officer will have a headline saying, "I am doing this week," and it kind of asks students if they want to know more or if they want to get involved. They should email us. It's also about kind of letting students know what campaigns are being run at the moment and what campaigns are going to be run throughout the year. So I know that my fellow officer, Natalie Sutcliffe, who's the activities officer, wants students to know about the Women in Sport campaign, which is encouraging more women to become involved in sport and kind of getting sort of equal representation in the coverage of women's sport as well. And I think also on Friday there's going to be a Liberation Day, so you'll hear more about She Should Run then. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Women's football's done really well in the
Yeah.
at the moment. In the World Cup, the
Yeah.
World Cup.
Yeah,
So
there's
nice to hear that.
increased coverage of, because that's something that as a media studies student, I kind of look at sort of media coverage when it comes to gender. And I've noticed that when I look at the sports sections in newspapers, there's an imbalance between men's sport and women's sport. So that's something that we should sort of educate people about and be like, this is a problem. We need to be celebrating women's sports more, especially when it comes to like Women's World Cup and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Olivia, at the other end of the sofa,
Hello.
asking about jailbreak now. Is everything ready for it?
I think we are already. It's taken months and months to get the preparation done. There's a team of 4 of us working on it. So it's been really hard. But I think we have just about everything ready. A few things that have to come together on Friday, but we're really excited for the weekend.
Yeah, me too. I was going to ask you, we had a rumour that it might not have yet been signed off by Lucy, which is a bit worrying. Do you know if it's going to be signed off anytime soon? Or
So Lucy are completely happy with everything. We've liaised with them for months now. Everything is fine to go ahead, so there'll be no problems there.
Okay, great. Have you ever done it, Olivia?
I haven't.
You haven't?
No, I've never done it. I've organised it for the past 2 years, and it's just so stressful to organise. I actually don't think I could do it and enjoy it.
You have to.
Yeah, definitely.
Can you tell us a bit more about Enactus and the work they do in Lancaster?
Yeah, sure. So Enactus is part of a worldwide network of teams. So there's 53 teams in the UK alone, and there is over 3,000 worldwide. And we all want to kind of change lives for the better. But instead of being like a charity, we're more of a social enterprise. So we use kind of entrepreneurial skills and create businesses to help people change their own lives. So I run a project this year working with autistic individuals. And we're starting up our own business so that in the long term we can try and employ them to kind of build their employment skills.
Great. So this year, Jailbreak are trying to raise, is it £10,000 we're trying to make so far?
Yeah.
We're getting there, we're doing quite well.
Yeah, nearly halfway there.
Yeah,
And actually a lot of money comes in over the weekend.
Yeah, I thought so.
Big
Thought
like
so.
percentage. So yeah, last year was 8 and this year we just kind of want even more to kind of invest more into our projects, make them more sustainable.
Yeah, definitely. Any tips for the weekend? Because obviously I'm doing it. I want to make it back.
Yeah, we want
for my
Jack back
nanny and
home
Monday
safely.
lecture.
Oh gosh. I would say don't go to the airports
Yeah, okay.
because nobody really gets flights bought for them. And I would say try and plan your route out.
Plan it.
Yeah, and find a lorry driver.
A lorry driver. I want to get a lorry driver that's going to Poland. Just right the way that way.
It happens, you know.
Romania.
Yeah.
Come in.
A couple of people did that last year. They got with lorry drivers, and the year before someone got to Budapest with one lorry
Really?
driver. Yeah.
That's pretty far.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can do that. I was going to ask you, what is the furthest anybody from Lancaster have got? I know last year it was kind of like Italy. Do you know the furthest ever?
2 years ago, someone got to Tenerife. They got flights bought for them at the airport. But generally, in terms of the actual hitchhiking way to do it, I think Italy's the furthest ever got.
Right.
So it's so cool.
Do you know, I'm really scared to try and get from Lancaster onto the M6 or get south. I don't know how we'll get from the uni, like on, because it's like a bit out of the way in terms of getting to the motorway. I don't know how we'd get on.
Most people go to, either one of the 2 of the service stations, so either Shell or BP,
Okay.
just outside of campus. If you go there, there'll be people going to the motorway.
Right.
So that's how I would get out of
That's where I'm
Lancaster.
going to head.
Yeah.
Thank you, Olivia. Thanks.
Okay, so thank you for joining us, Katie and Olivia. That's all we have time for today. But here is a quick look at what's coming up on campus this week.
Yeah, tomorrow night, County have a lip sync battle starting from 8 p.m.
Jailbreak starts on Friday. We go live at 5:30, so make sure you tune in to LA1 TV coverage.
Monday night sees the World at Lancaster extravaganza from 17:30.
And lastly, this Friday is Children in Need. Please feel free to donate on the BBC website. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week with more Good Morning Lancaster.
Bye.